This should be the final refactoring code change before we can move the classes into their new projects. The battle and attack with weapons classes each call one function in the CombatService class, which is in the services. Because the functions aren't used anywhere else by any other classes, we're going to pull the functions out of CombatService and put them into battle and attack with weapon. So let's open up the solution. And the first thing to do is go into the CombatService class, and we're going to copy the attack succeeded function. We'll just copy that whole function into the attack with weapons class. I put it here at the end. Then we need to change the public to a private. Since the function is only called by attack with weapon, we can make it private. Up at the top in our using directives, we used to have one for engine.services, and we now need it for engine.shared because the getAttribute extension method is in the engine.shared namespace. And then we have to go into the execute function. On line 33, this used to say CombatService.attack succeeded, and now we just need attack succeeded since we moved that function down here inside the class. We're going to do the same thing for the enum and the function that are used in the battle class. We have this public enum combatant, so we can determine whether the player attacks first or whether the opponent attacks first. And then we have this function first attacker where we determine who attacks first. So just like with the attack with weapon class, we're going to copy the enum and the function. We'll move that into the battle class. So here's the combatant enum. I put it up at the top. And then down here at the bottom, I added the first attacker function. And we'll do the same type of thing. We will convert the function to private. Since the enum is only used inside this class by the function, we can make that private also. We need to change the using directive from engine.services to engine.shared because the first attacker function also calls the getAttribute extension method. And then up on line 34, we'll change from CombatService.firstAttacker to just firstAttacker since the function is now in the battle class. And that should be all we need to do for the two functions, putting them in their new homes. So now we can delete the CombatService class completely, and that should be the final change we need for the code. As always, build and test the game to make sure it still works. But I also want to show you the end-depend dependency graph now. So if you notice, we have all these one-way arrows. We don't have these circular dependencies we used to have. We do have a few circular dependencies, but these are the ones that are okay because here engine services and engine factories have a circular dependency, but those are, factory as a service, and those are both going into the same project, in this case SOS/CS/RPG.services, so they'll see each other and work with each other. Same type of thing here with the engine.models. We have engine.shared, which is extension methods for the models, so they're going into the SOS/CS/RPG.models project. And then the engine.actions, those are also going into the models because those are kind of models for actions, the command design pattern. So the next thing we should be able to do is move all the classes out of the engine project into SOS/CS/RPG.viewModels, .models, and .services, delete the engine project, and hopefully everything will work. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below the video or on the support page, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.